What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melvin here for another reaction. How you doing? How you doing? So yeah, today we're here for another Alpha Pop Culture. Wait. I think my camera's up. Here we go. And up there. There we go. And I'll say another video from Alpha Pop Culture. 13 slasher films, slasher movies that changed horror forever. Which I'm always a fan of horror films. I started with, Halloween special, then went up to horror films during my middle school years. Well, half of elementary, since does Terminator count as a horror film? Or sci-fi? Hmm? So, yeah. Let me fix the light here. There we go. There we go. That's all I was saying. Hey, Melvin, why do you always have the lights off? Hey. So we're talking about horror? Lights off. So if you want to watch ghost videos. And we're almost near October, so I'm gonna make like a list of those who all the new. Sorry. It's all the same. October's almost near. Let's see, I think around this week I'll be making like a post saying which Halloween special or horror film you want me to do a review on for October. Of a Halloween special I didn't do. Like that I forgot, like from Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, you name it. Any. Check it out. If it's something I remember, watching, I totally forgot, comment down below. And anywho, let's check it out in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and I hope you are ready because today we are carving deep into horror history by taking a look at 13 movies that created the rules for the slasher game and sometimes broke them completely. We are going to count down a list of the 13 horror films that define the slasher genre. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this.
Psycho, Freddy, Friday the 13th. What's that one? Jason. Okay. Jason, let's see.
Alright, so 13 films that shaped and defined the slasher genre. Let's jump right to the list with one that a lot of people have never seen. We're going back to 1960 for Peeping.
Shit. Seriously? Come on. Bye-bye.
Going back to 1960 for Peeping Tom. This one is our first one, and it is our deep cut. A lot of people have not seen or even heard of Peeping Tom.
It's also
comes out of 1960. It's a British psychological horror that actually predates Psycho and may be considered by a lot of people to be the first true slasher film. It follows Mark, who's a shy cameraman who secretly films women as he murders them, capturing their final terrified expressions. This idea of the killer's POV, literally seeing through his eyes, became a core of the slasher trope later on. Peeping Tom so disturbed audiences in 1960 that it destroyed the director Michael Powell's career. Critics called it vile, evil, but today it is held as a landmark that planted the first seeds of the slasher genre. That's why it is encapsulated here in a 4K case in the Criterion Collection. It definitely has to be on any list like this. If you have not seen Peeping Tom, check it out. It comes in at number 13.
Number 13. Oh.
All right. Now, coming in at number 12 on our list, we go back to 1976 for The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Now, this one is loosely based on the Phantom Killer murders in the 1940s in Texas. And this is a proto-slasher. It introduced something that would define the genre later, which is the silent, masked killer. The film plays almost out like a docudrama, kind of, following a hooded figure that stalks and kills couples at night. It is gritty, it is eerie, and feels disturbingly real. And of course, that's added because it's based on real murders. Though it is a little bit lesser known today.
Yeah. The Texarkana murders, damn, that happened like in the 40s during World War II. If you know what it is, Texarkana is in the borders of Arkansas and Texas, which, to this day, the murder, they don't know who was the murderer. That's just crazy. That's the crazy part about who was the murderer. And the description of the murderer, he wore that. A baghead. And he got creative with his murders. Like, he carried like a pistol as like a sniper. He usually targets like couples and, rural roads, lovers lane. He even killed a woman, like a teenage girl, by using her trombone with a knife attached to it, and yeah, literally, she got tromboned to death. No pun intended. Literally, there's a knife at the end of yeah. Well, there is a remake, but no watch. And the funny part is the remake mentions about this film. Yeah. In the remake, this movie actually appears in the remake. That's just crazy. That's why I prefer the original better, because never do remakes. Never. There's some will work, and some will don't. My Beloved Valentine 3D. Friday the 13th. The actor who played Freddy Krueger? Good. The script? Shit. Friday the 13th. Combining 3 into 1. Like half of the climax of murdering the death of Pamela Voorhees, Jason with Baghead, and then Jason getting his hockey mask. Good. Halloween, Rob Zombie. Whew. That scared 12-year-old me to death. Yep, I'm not joking. I mentioned during interviews before. But yeah, Dread by Sundown. I enjoyed it because one, it's the poster that caught my attention. You see the murderer with the bag head over the town. I like the poster, and it's also in Scream Factory using the poster art. I want to give is that cheap like $14 for the Blu-ray? I'm gonna have done that. Let's continue watching.
It heavily influenced the mask killer archetype we see
in
a lot of slasher movies later. This came before Friday the 13th. It came before Halloween. The Town That Dreaded Sundown definitely has foundational roots in the slasher genre. It has to be on a list like this. It comes in at number 12. Now, at number 11, we go to one that's a little bit more fun in this genre, but no less important. 1982's Slumber Party Massacre. Now, on the surface, this looks like a standard 80s slasher, but it has a twist. It was written and directed entirely by women as a satire of slasher tropes already in 1982.
Really?
The plot is pure formula. You got teen girls. They're gathering at a slumber party only to be hunted by an escaped killer wielding a giant drill, as phallic as you can get. So it slyly mocks the obsession in
I know the second one has a drill like a guitar.
All horror, really, that sex equals death, those kind of
Slumber
rules.
Party Massacre.
It's campy, but it is very clever, and it shows that a slasher could be self-aware, kind of meta, long before Scream came along. This one has to be on the list. It is fun. Check out Slumber Party Massacre. It comes in at number 11.
Okay.
El gran día de McDonald's es para todos. Este 3 de octubre, pide tu Big Mac y ayuda. McDonald's donará.
Shut up.
It is fun. Check out Slumber Party Massacre. It comes in.
I heard about it, but I've never seen it. Maybe because it's not my, horror stuff. I know there's some horror films like Fraternity, like Prom Night and that. Okay, because I like the story. It involves like a ghost or a murder. But Slumber Party Massacre is 2. This is the first one. I saw like images of the second one where the villain has like a guitar drill. Yeah, electric guitar drill. And I knew it was actually written by women. Never knew it. Okay. Now I want to check it out. Cool. Let's keep going. What's number what?
11.
What's number 10?
Sticking in the early 80s for number 10, we go to My Bloody Valentine.
Hell yeah.
This one brought slashers kind of to the blue-collar world. This is a Canadian, a Canucksploitation type slasher film. It's set in a Canadian mining town and centers on a vengeful killer in mining gear who punishes anyone who celebrates Valentine's Day.
February, so.
The mine shaft in this thing is super claustrophobic and terrifying.
If you don't recognize that scene, there was a scene where I think they managed to put it back for the Scream Factory one in resolution better, where you see Harry Warden literally upchuck the drunker with his pickaxe, like up here, and the sharp point comes out of the eyeball, the eye socket, which, oh my god, it's too gruesome. Wankers. I enjoy a good horror film. Let's continue.
Those are brutal. The MPAA notoriously tore this one up. It hacked the gore to shreds before its release. But even in its censored form, the film became a cult favorite. It shows that slashers could thrive outside the suburbs, and that atmosphere could be just as scary as kills itself. It inspired a remake, which I actually happen to like, with Jensen Ackles and Tom Atkins, my man. But My Bloody Valentine.
I never liked the remake because, first of all, it turned the ex-boyfriend into the villain, while the new beau, who's the sheriff, is a piece of shit who was cheating on the love interest, his wife / the ex-boyfriend's former girlfriend. I find him a piece of shit. I like the original, at least, because one, they're both too reconciled because he was trying to find like a better life than, a coal miner. He don't want to, what's been going on through his head, talking about his feelings. And reveal that the other guy is the son of the managers who left Harry Warren and the rest of the miners down there to die in the accident. Well, she had traumatized, but also murder, which actually works out right. But yeah, shit. I always wonder which came first, Friday the 13th or My Bloody Valentine, because those two came out in 81. I think this came out after Friday because, and you gotta agree, you gotta love Harry Warren's design of the gas mask, the helmet, the headlight helmet. Damn, that's iconic. That miner outfit, damn. Dude, I want to get my hands on a mask and helmet. That would be pretty cool. In the jumpsuit. That's pretty cool. An iconic design
very
for
different
Harry
take,
Warden.
a holiday-focused one, but one that definitely did some new things with the slasher genre. It has to be on this list. It checks in at number 10.
Look at that.
Now, at number 9 on this list, we have what is probably the meanest...
Oh, yeah, plus... Harry Warden has his own song, like the Ballad of Harry Warden, which was sung by, I forgot the name of this country singer. He actually sang this in the ending credits of My Bloody Valentine, which is actually pretty catchy. Which, damn. Okay, tell me a slasher that didn't have his own ballad, country theme music in the ending. Huh? Besides Freddy, because Freddy had his own rap music, Jason has a... He's actually sung by Alice Cooper. I think it's for Friday 7 or 6. He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask by Alice Cooper. Hey, he got sung by a metal legend. Look at that. Michael? I don't know. But the only time get their own music was Harry Warden, Freddy, and Jason.
And nastiest entry on this whole list, but that doesn't make it any less important.
What you got?
I am talking 1980s Maniac. Now, this one follows Frank Zito, who is a deranged loner stalking women through the crime of New York City. This one is raw, it's sleazy, unrelenting.
I think it's really inspired by the Ed Gein one, the Ed Gein cases, because there's some horror films that are inspired by Ed Gein.
Audiences, and Joe Spinell's performance.
Yeah, there's some films that are inspired by the case of Ed Gein, like, Silence of the Lambs, Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's other horror films that are like so grotesque, so gory, that inspired that became like video nasties. Maniac's one of them, and there's another one as well. I think it's a memoir. I can't remember the film, but it's similar but more different. It's kind of like compared to the similar case of Ed Gein, but more modern take. I can't remember it, but damn. But continuing.
Is disturbingly real. Like, you get sucked in, and then you want to remind yourself that this is just a movie. Critics definitely called it trash. Horror fans called it groundbreaking, though. It was banned for a while. All kinds of things. This movie was through the ringer. But Maniac kind of stripped away the camp of any slashers, like any kind of campiness, and turned it into pure psychological terror, showing the killer not as a boogeyman, but as a deeply broken human. That adds a lot of realism to it that makes it even more frightening. You combine that with Savini's gore effects, and you get something that is tough to watch, but kind of pushes the boundaries of what a slasher could be and kind of takes them in a new direction. Maniac from 1980 comes in at number 9 on this list.
Ooh, what's number 10?
Now, number 8 on this list is one that a lot of people don't think about. They don't talk about. It's kind of in that vein, almost with Maniac and The Town That Dreaded Sundown and Peeping Tom as 3 movies that a lot of you haven't seen. I think more people have seen this one, but they still don't really give it its due when it comes to how relevant it is. I am talking 1981's The Funhouse by Tobe Hooper.
I remember,
The Funhouse brought the slasher into a surreal carnival nightmare.
It was done by Universal.
Which for me, I just always want to do a carnival movie, a horror movie of my own.
I've seen the movie.
Something just unsettling, creepy, fall atmosphere. There's just this vibe around that, and this movie captures it and makes it.
I seen The Funhouse. Oh boy, dude, you have gore and more tits. I'm not joking. You have a full blown like orgy right there inside the Funhouse while the carnival is closing. I am not joking. Like each one with their lover, they get topless. Like, oh boy. Does anybody read the rules of horror films? You fuck, you die. And that Frankenstein mask, wait until he removes it, you'll see a surprise.
Terrifying. You got a group of teens who spend the night in a traveling fun house only to be hunted down by a deformed killer in like a Frankenstein mask. And the carnival atmosphere is just dripping with that sleaze, that kind of little dirty, grimy dread feeling that can kind of come with these little small traveling carnivals and fairs. You've got animatronic clowns, flickering lights, a maze of horror. It is often, way too often, overlooked, but the Funhouse helped prove that slasher could thrive on eerie, stylized production design and location atmosphere, and not just shadows and suburbs. The Funhouse has to be on this list. This is a very underrated film by Tobe Hooper. It comes in at number 8.
Down you go. That's the thing. Great. Seriously, dummy? There's some idiots in Team Moon. Okay.
All right, at number 7, you know this one had to be here. This one is Tobe Hooper's well-known proto-slasher type film. I'm going to say Texas Chainsaw
No
Massacre.
shit.
So before Michael, before Jason, there was
Leatherface.
Leatherface. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre feels less like a movie and more like a nightmare
I like the boxer, but mine's
caught
10.
on film. It kind of feels like a snuff film
Yeah,
that's been filmed, as you have a van full of teens that stumble into a rural farmhouse of cannibals and chaos erupts. The shaky camera, the grimy textures, the relentless screaming.
And the fun fact, when they were making that film, it was hot there in Texas. I mean, like, hot. That everyone was sweating like crazy. I think Tony Hooper mentioned this, including the rest of the crew, because the cat mentioned that how hot it was. Like, damn. Jesus.
Made it all feel very
and look at the props
real.
for the
Audiences
for
actually
that.
felt like they were watching a snuff in a lot of ways, and that made it extremely unsettling.
You know what's funny? In the beginning of the film, it says based on a true story. Like, what? What? Exactly. Like, huh? And this was one of many of video nasties at the time, like this, Evil Dead, the first Halloween. Jesus.
It does to this day. There's a lot of things that are actually technically wrong with this film, with the cinematography, with framing, and stuff like that was done because of a rushed production schedule and budget. And as a indie filmmaker, I know
the
something
original
about
house
that
for
and
the Texas
commiserate.
Chainsaw, it's still there.
But it kind of worked together to
Look at
give
that.
this feel. It introduced
No,
a sort
what's
of
crazy?
backwoods horror
The Hook.
subgenre, and Leatherface became one of the truly iconic slashers. Big hulking guy in a skin mask.
Was this
and a butcher
before
outfit,
Halloween?
butcher's, smock.
Oh, The Hook.
It is a rough one to watch. It's not one that I can sit and watch
she's
over and
alive.
over
Okay.
again, but that doesn't make it any less important or powerful.
Yep, Texas Chainsaw.
I don't really want A24 to get their hands on this film.
Oh, A24.
More on that later in another video, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre had to be on this list. It comes in.
Oh, the Woodchuck guy.
Number
He
6
doesn't
on this
deserve
list,
that.
we go to the mid-90s, and you know this had to be here. 1996's Scream.
No shit.
Wes Craven didn't just revive the slasher with Scream. He basically reinvented it. Ghostface, of course, stalks teens in suburbia, but the
How to survive a horror film? Well, getting hot by a killer.
The rules of horror movie, and they actively comment
You know, fun
on the
fact?
rules of horror
I have a
movies.
VHS
It's a
tape
meta
of Scream
twist that
3.
kind of brought a new life and a new way of looking at things into a genre that was kind of fledgling at the time. It was kind of dying. But instead, this kind of took it and it made slashers smart, slick, and self-aware, and sadly kind of has spawned endless imitators. It's a good thing, but they just could never quite pull it off the same way.
Hey, who was the main villain in Friday the 13th? Jason! Ah, you're wrong. It was his mother, Pamela. You die. I just like how, seriously, everything we hear Friday the 13th is Jason, but did you forget? He was only in, from the second film, he was introduced. In the first film, we all know is his mother. So, yeah. Jesus.
None have captured the perfect sense of tension, humor, and brutal kills blended together. Scream, with Wes Craven doing Scream, it proves slashers could evolve and change and still be just as deep. Scream reinvented the genre, a lot of imitators, often imitated, never duplicated.
Yep.
It comes in at number 6. Now for number 5, we jump back to the 70s in 1974 with Bob Clark's Black Christmas.
Oh, Black Christmas.
This one showed how terrifying slasher.
I'm sorry, when you mentioned Bob Clark, we all know who Bob Clark is. The guy who directed A Christmas Story and also Porky's. Only the first two. You didn't do the third one. I'm sorry, but the fact that Bob Clark did both horror, holiday, and comedy. Impressive. Most impressive. And the fact that he actually appeared in A Christmas Story where the dad is like telling the wife to position, the lamp, and he's the one who was talking to him. I think Doug mentioned this about seeing the director say, "Oh, he doesn't look like a director for Christmas Story. He looks like a director for Porky's," which I seen all those films. Like I seen Black Christmas. I seen. Okay, we all seen that. We all seen Porky's. Come on. Okay. Come on, American Pie. I'm sorry. If you want a whole lot of belly laugh, I recommend Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, Animal House, R.I.P. John Belushi. And what else? I think Caddyshack with Dangerfield, Rodney Dangerfield. Hell yeah. Rodney or Roger? Oh, you know that guy. Whew. Jesus. There's a lot of good comedy films back in the time that nowadays, whew, some woke ass idiots will say, "Oh my god, it's so offensive." Yeah. Shut up and enjoy some good comedy. You don't like it? Something's wrong with you. But yeah, Black Christmas, I know there was a remake and people didn't like it. But let's hear what Chase has to say.
Really could be. We have a sorority house. It's stalked by a killer who hides in the attic, making obscene phone calls before murdering the girls one by one. And those phone calls are disturbing. They are legitimately disturbing and unsettling, and just sort of increase that atmosphere and tension.
Okay.
And that kind of makes it icy. It's claustrophobic. Yeah. It's in this house. The phone calls. He's hiding in the attic. It's very bleak.
He's hiding in there.
It introduced tropes really like the final girl, the holiday setting again that you had with My Bloody Valentine later, and you had more of the killer's POV coming in here. It's the blueprint in a lot of ways, and you could argue that maybe Halloween doesn't exist without Black Christmas going first. A very unsettling slasher film.
This came out before Halloween.
At number 5.
They got Christmas?
Now, if you've been waiting on 1960s Psycho, here it is. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is the primordial kind of forerunner for Scream and the whole slasher genre. Marion Crane steals money. She flees, only to check into the Bates Motel. This is one a lot of people know, and meets the infamous Norman Bates, a quiet young man with just a few mommy issues to him.
Oh, yeah.
The shower scene in this changed cinema forever, been parodied, been shown, been done in a million different ways since then.
60s, like, for that.
The timing, the screaming, the strings, how it was done to get the raindrops and the blood to show up with the chocolate syrup, the shocking violence of all this, just absolutely
black and white
iconic.
for this
Even
suspense. Look at that.
fans know a lot of the story behind this movie. Psycho broke taboos and killed off its lead halfway through. Spoiler alert, it's 65 years old if you haven't seen it. It laid all the psychological groundwork for every slasher film that followed. It is an undeniable classic.
And the fact that Jamie Lee, Jan Lee's daughter, recreated that famous scene right there.
Psycho from 1960, Alfred Hitchcock's classic, comes in at number 4. All right, we have made it to the top 3, and coming in at number 3 is the icon of your nightmares, Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. He struck gold with Freddy Krueger, there is no doubt, with a supernatural slasher icon. Some argue this is the first supernatural slasher icon. I would argue that Michael Myers is supernatural. He's the boogeyman. More on that later. But in this, we know the story. Teens are hunted in their dreams by a burned killer with a bladed glove. If you die in your sleep, you die for real.
Oh, yeah.
The dream logic let Wes Craven kind of create a surreal and terrifying setting and atmosphere. And
I like how the Cosby, the boyfriend was the one who killed his girlfriend. And, okay, first of all, how would he drag her body on the fucking ceiling? What is he? Magneto's like, stab, stab, stab. Whee! Like, what kind of police work is that? And then he supposedly committed suicide in his cell, like, boy. the adults know who it is, but they don't. They just have to throw somebody under the bus to save their own skin, which it backfires quickly with the cost of their own children. Jesus Christ, honestly. Let's continue, shall we?
Kills that could just kind of happen in any way he dreamed up. So it allowed him to inject more fantasy into the slasher formula, something you couldn't do with really any other slasher at that point. Then you throw in later films with Freddy's wisecracks. You got all these crazy surreal set pieces. And Freddy himself, though, then became a pop culture icon.
To Robert Englund.
But in that first film, he is pure nightmare fuel, and he expanded. And this film expanded.
And fun fact, Robert Englund is getting his star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame this October, so congrats to Robert, you deserve it. Hell yeah.
On what slashers could be, it is so relevant to this genre.
Oh yeah,
unquestioned here.
It's kind of weird we never get an interview about Johnny during this time in
Nightmare. Number 2, another icon, another legend, 1980s.
Friday the 13th.
Now, Friday the 13th didn't just copy Halloween, it industrialized it to a whole other level. Now, Jason himself doesn't show up as the killer in this.
It's his mother.
Mask killer trope. That doesn't come till you get Sackhead Jason, then you get the famous hockey mask.
God damn it, would you stop zooming on that guy's crotch?
Of Friday the 13th in our mind, the hockey mask and machete probably comes before anything else. That's the industrialization of this movie. But you got Camp Crystal Lake, you've got horny counselors, and a mysterious killer striking from the shadows. It's formulaic, unabashedly a copy here in a lot of ways, but it helped define the formula and really created the formula
until you
for the camp
to the very
slasher,
end.
The camp horror films. The final jump scare became a...
I remember when I see that poster, you see all the campers right in. You see in the woods, you see the silhouette of the murderer. I remember when I was a kid, I saw that poster in Walmart of the VHS. I think it was the DVD or VHS. I'm like, what the fuck? Even I saw the Chucky one, which that thing creeped me out. Like, yeah, at Walmart, damn.
Legendary thing with Jason where he's jumped up out of the lake. That kind of established in this movie. Later, we get the Mask Killer with Jason that became even more iconic. Countless sequels, remakes, reboots, all kinds of stuff. He is ubiquitous in pop culture. It all started right here.
And it's a video game which,
became a huge thing.
Fuck.
This slasher, Friday the 13th, this was the moment that slashers became a franchise machine, and that allowed the genre to explode. Friday the 13th.
I got my hands on the 10 version of the. I wish I got my hands on the 10 version. It's pretty cool. Even though I have the film.
Number 1, you probably guessed it by now.
Halloween.
We have the film that crystallized the slasher genre.
Halloween.
1978's Halloween. There's no question. John Carpenter is the king of horror when it comes to being a horror director.
And the fact he didn't want to do a sequel, but had no choice.
Of all slasher films, The Babysitters in Suburbia, stalked by Michael Myers.
With a low budget of 15 grand. Look at that.
A masked embodiment of pure evil. Those eyes.
And a Captain Kirk mask.
They're pure evil. Carpenter's minimalist score that we've all come to know, that made the movie that much more terrifying. The long takes, the follows, the steady cams, shots, the slow burn tension, it turned the film into a masterclass. And when I say masterclass, when I taught film studies and film production, I would teach about this movie and how they shot things. It gave us a final girl for the ages in Jamie Lee Curtis. You've got the Mask Killer. You've got more of the holiday formula.
And the fact that, here's the thing, her mother, Janet Leigh, did not want her to be in the movie, you know which one, The Exorcist, the Reagan role, because he thought it was too gruesome. Excuse me, ma'am. You were in a scene where you're butt naked getting stabbed by Mother in Psycho. You don't call that gruesome because it was black and white? And she appeared in Halloween, which you hardly see any blood. Literally. You don't think the difference? Titties! Twice. That's it. But hey. That would have been interesting if Jamie Lee took the role of Regan in Exorcist. That would be interesting, but hey.
At least they both appeared in The Fog. Everything, and it is the groundwork for everything that followed. Halloween is the slasher blueprint that is the staple today. It may never be able to be recreated this perfectly with all of those elements. That's why it's still held in such high regard, and deservedly so.
Agreed.
When you're talking about any kind of film that defined the horror genre or the slasher genre, you have to talk Halloween 1978. The boogeyman is real, and he is right here in Halloween. It comes in at number 1. So there you have it. 13 slashers. 10 that you probably really know. There's a few in there that maybe you don't know as much. Maybe a few hidden cuts, a little lesser known films. But no matter what, all 13 of these films carved their way into horror history. They're bloody. They're brilliant. They're the reason we still fear that shape in the shadows. And that's what I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can join at my Patreon. The link is below. There's a discount code right now, new member 25 for 25% off of your membership, and you're going to get uncensored versions of videos just like this, special members only videos, members only 4K reviews, deep dives, all kinds of content over there that I can put on there just for you guys, and everything goes back into the channel, and I really do appreciate it. I hope you hang with me now and this spooky season, as we have horror and spooky season content focused every day, and I just love this time of year. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon.
Okay, that was a good video, wasn't it? And there's some movies I seen, some I don't, which, hey, I bragged a lot and said, hey, a little bit more information just in case of copyright, which, hey, YouTube has a bad habit of doing it. We all agree to that. But yeah, this was a good video. I recommend his channel a lot. I also recommend the Cobweb channel as well. He mentioned it before, which, hey, I check it out, Cobweb as well. Awesome as well. Sorry. But yeah. There's always I always enjoy some good content, talking about horror films, Halloween, you know that. And hey, we're almost in the end of September and ready for October, right? Let's have some fun, shall we? But yeah. I think that'll be it for today, and if you want to see the original video and his channel, I'll leave the link to the original video down below so you can check it out yourself. And also, subscribe to his channel of Apple Pop Culture as well. That'll be awesome as well. And also, give a subscribe to me as well. That'll be awesome too. And give a like to this video, and also comment down below what other you want me to react to, or, hey, you want me to go back to watching ghost videos? Hey, I'm planning to do my reviews for October. I'm saving them, because including some reactions to popular Halloween favorites, because hey, we're near October, so let's have some fun, shall we? And until then, have a great day, have a great night, stay spooky, stay safe. See you next time. Peace.